Hey guys, it's 4 days till New Year's, right? It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, till New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve would be day one, or would be one day. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. Always bad with countdown math, because day 0 is New Year's Eve. And I will try to record on New Year's Eve as well, just for the heck of it. And then I'll be done. I promise I'm done. Done with the vlogs for a while. It is the Bermuda Triangle of holidays. Like, it's already almost 11, which is, I guess, nice that I got to sleep in again. But it's like, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is anymore. And I have a whole nother week of this with the kids because they don't go back to school until the 8th. So even usually it's like, you know, you get New Year's and then you kick them back out on like the 2nd or the 3rd. Usually not the 2nd, usually like the 3rd or the 4th or something that week. But now they're here till the 8th. Got a whole another week, whole another weekend. Oh, so it'll be something. Anyways, on to happier things. Maybe not. So I bought this pooling granny square yarn, right? This bland granny square yarn. So of course I had to dive in and just see if I could do it. It's a challenge. I'm gonna say it's a challenge, and it's not necessarily. I mean, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. I'm gonna make it work somehow. I've already like got some tips and tricks and figured out my own thing, but I'm not really 100% satisfied with it, so I want to play around some more. So here's my square. Okay, it looks great. It tells you. So here's the instructions. Leave a 4-inch tail, cast on or chain 4. With a 5.5 millimeter hook, I believe is the original size it wants you to use. Yeah, I think that's right. Which is an eye hook. Where's my eye hook? Anyways. So I did that. Couldn't get the first color to line up. Left a longer tail. Still couldn't get the first color to line up. Maybe I don't even know if I think I stopped there and I moved up to a J, so a 5.5. So I moved up to a 5.5, which seems really big for, like, I use an H for everything, for worsted, you know? So I used, so going up to an I just seems crazy. So I went to an I, did the same thing, 4-inch tail, didn't work. Left us, I think this is like a 7-inch tail, got it to work. Got to color 2. And I still had like this much left. I'm like, I don't want to go up. I don't even have, this is my largest. Okay, not my largest. Okay, so I don't think I have anything in between. I haven't looked. But I don't think I have anything in between an 8 and a 6. And I really don't want to go all the way up to an 8, even though that's what I'm using for my cardigan. But I don't know, I just feel like that's too airy, like too much, but maybe not. So I don't know, I was going to try it with an 8. Maybe, but actually I have other ideas as well. So I just slip stitched the second color around until I got to the next corner and it worked. And then the last 3 rounds worked fine. So that actually worked well with the 7 millimeter. Is that what I said? Or 6 millimeter. 6 millimeter. So the last 3 rounds worked. Actually, the last round, the black round, I had to like tighten my tension like noticeably to get the last round to come with, with a tail. Because then you need to have a little bit of tail left to weave in. So you left your beginning tail and your end tail. But it looks good, and it's about 6 inches. It might be like a hair over. It might be like if I like pinned it out, it would probably be, let's see, where's my tape measure? Did I put it away somewhere? Did I take it? Sorry, I'm like never prepared for this, right? I had my little ruler, and now I don't know where it is. But I measured it loosely. Like, I mean, if I wetted this and stretched it, it'd probably be a little bit bigger. It'd probably be at least 6 1/4 total square. So maybe a little bit bigger than it's supposed to be a 6-inch square. It looks good, right? Also, I noticed like you kind of need to pull the yarn out of the skein before you work it up because again, it affects your tension. Did I just pull it out? Okay. I'm just pulled it out. But I don't like this granny square pattern, essentially, as much. You chain 3 in the corners, which is too much. I prefer to chain 2. You chain 1 in between each one, which I prefer no chains. And that seems to be the consensus of a lot of people too. Like, I don't do chain 3s and I don't chain 1. So someone mentioned trying an extended double crochet, which will use up a little more yarn. So I might see what that looks like. So I might do an extended double crochet and see if I can get back down to the normal, the 5.5 millimeter hook. So if I can use a 5.5 millimeter hook, not only put two chains in the corner and skip the chains here. I mean, if I have to chain one in between, that's fine. But maybe I just don't like it's like, you know, it's too much. You don't need 3 chains in there. It's fine though if I do. This is my backup plan, to use the 6 millimeter and just make it happen. However it happens. I'm debating. I'm just gonna rip this out. I'm gonna rip this out. Whatever. I can recreate it. I did it once. I can eventually do it again. But I want to try to get down to smaller hook size and make a more compact, not compact. I mean, I still want it to be around 6 inches, but if it's a little less, that's fine. I just feel like this is like huge. So I don't know, but the extended double crochets are gonna make the holes a lot bigger. I don't know. I'm not necessarily having buyer's remorse, but maybe a little, if that makes sense. But then I'm looking at the Yarn Inspirations website and looking at the fun patterns. They got a pattern for a pair of pants. They got a fun like dress. They got a really cute backpack that's like granny squares and stuff. And like, so they got some fun, like that would need a liner though, because you'd be having things falling out of your backpack. But they had some cute patterns. I just like granny square. I like some, it's definitely a camp. You either love them or I feel like you either love them or hate them. And I love them. I just think they're so cool. And I think this will make a really cute blanket. And they had a couple blanket patterns. And then I found some video on, I haven't watched it yet, but tips on how to sew them all together. So I would need just to get the black yarn to sew them together. So but I shouldn't be working on this right now. I should be working on other things. So I might have to tuck this away and hide it away and come back to it later. But once I get like that in my head, you know, I just want to go with it. So I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing today. And I still have to do like actual things today. Like I have to I mentioned I need to start organizing my photos and I got to practice piano and like I still got to like do things. All I want to do is do this. Okay, so maybe I'll try one more iteration and stop. We'll see. Good evening, everybody. It's 6 o'clock, a little after 6, and I've spent way too much time on the granny square yarn. And not in a good way. I've come to the conclusion that it's not easy, and it's not going to work exactly how it's supposed to for me. I have gone through a 5.5 millimeter, I've gone through a 6 millimeter, I've used a 6.5 millimeter, I've used an 8 millimeter, maybe 7 millimeter is the magic number, and this 6.5 millimeter is like awkward. It's a boy hook and it just feels funky, especially compared to the clover hooks, so that could be a problem. But maybe 7 millimeters, maybe it is, but I don't have that, and I don't know, maybe I'll try that at some point. But I have figured out a way to make it work for me. So if I want to do this, I can make it happen. And at the end of the day, it's still no weaving ends besides the 2. No wrangling different color yarns. No thinking about it, really. Just kind of, you know, you have to kind of pull things apart a little bit here and there, and there's a few stitches that might overlap. But at the end of the day, it's not that bad. So there's my square, and it's no matter what I do, and I mean, it's like sorcery. I'm sure there's a reason, but like you think things should be larger when you use larger hooks. Every time I did this, it was like the same size. It was always 6 inches, maybe a little hair over. Now, obviously, if I stretch it out, I can get it bigger, but laying flat, unstretched, it's about 6 inches right now. So, and it's cute and it's pretty. I like it. I still haven't broken it off because I'm still undecided if this is what I'm doing or not. But what I had to do, and this is using the 6mm hook. So I'm using a J hook 6mm. That is, I tried extended double crochets. I tried changing hook size in between rows and stuff. And I don't want it to be complicated. I want it to be simple. So I don't want to have to change hook size. And I don't want to have to do extended doubles because they're kind of fiddly. So I like just using the one hook. My tension has to be really loose. Like I have to like be really relaxed for the most part, because every single round except for the last one, I had to be really tight on the last one. Every other round I had to be like super loose, and I still had like this much left of the color. So like not quite enough. Maybe enough for a different hook size, maybe a 7. Like when I go to the 8, then doesn't work as well. It really didn't work. It worked for the earlier rows. And then I have a 12-inch tail instead of a 4-inch tail that they recommend you leave. So that's how much, and this is about how much yarn I have left over between colors. So I have to slip stitch, basically. Which, I mean, if you look at it closely, you could tell. Maybe, I don't even know if you could tell. But so I have to slip stitch around until the color change. And so then instead of just always starting in the corner, I'm sometimes starting in the middle. Which again, is fine by the time you go round and round. Unless you're like staring at it super duper closely, you're not going to notice. Like you can see, yeah, I mean, you can see where I changed colors. Like if you look closely, because I have like one stitch that's there. But overall, it's okay. I feel better about it, knowing that I can just slip stitch, be loose with my gauge, and I only have the 2 ends to weave. So like, this will, once I get started with it, I mean, eventually, sometimes I had to pull back out, like the last row, I had to pull back out and get tighter to make sure I had a little bit of leftover. And again, I can go into this because I need 12, I can leave 12 inches. So, but this is plenty of a tail to weave in. So that is, and I have a feeling the other skein is going to be different. Like, I feel like these probably vary from dye lot, and they're all in the same dye lot. They purchased them all together. They're all the same dye lot. So like, all the greens should essentially be the same length. All the pinks should all be the same length, but the pinks might not be the same length as the green. I should like experiment and pull one apart and see what it looks like. But overall, I spent way too much time on this, but it's really pretty. It is a really pretty color. It looks really cool. I'm excited. I always get excited seeing everyone's projects. Like they have little backpacks and stuff. So, I mean, again, this will be a really nice blanket for the couch. I'm still hesitant to cut it because I'm not 100% sure, but I might as well just cut it. I might as well just cut it, add the black, because no matter what I do, this is all the colors. So this is it, right? So I don't know. Onto the wine. Onto the baby wine. My 5% wine. And I look for it every time in there. Okay, it's there. So this is Stella Berry. Stella Rosa. It's a berry. I have a feeling it's going to taste like fake berries. Definitely a trend here with these wines, but nope. Still water in my cup. Emily's currently at a little friend's Christmas party, and David and Jim are watching a movie downstairs, so. Ooh, yeah, it's got that. It's semi-sweet, so it's kind of like a sour berry. It's not super sweet, so, but it's pretty good. It's better than the peach one, so, which I still drink it. But. So I will enjoy that little sweet drink, semi-sweet drink. And yeah, I'm still debating if I need to like try different patterns. Like someone actually turned this yarn into like an African flower motif. I should try to look that up and see what she did. And yeah, I'm wondering if I could just find other different granny squares that could be similar, but I don't know. This works. So I said I wasn't gonna spend my time on it, and instead I wasted my whole day on it. So there you have it. But I did get something. I got some piano accomplished today. That's about it. I got some piano, and I made a little cat paw. So I have 3 black cat paws now. So I only need 1 more to finish the chair, and then I'll have the black one. I don't like making the black ones because they're hard to see. They're a little fiddly. So I'll get that one done tomorrow. So I can get one cat paw done on the treadmill, pretty much. So it takes a half hour, roughly, to do one cat paw. So in 3 more days, I will have them all done. And then I will be done for a while. Because, again, they're really fiddly. They're so cute, but they're fiddly. So I don't want to make any more for a while. I need a break. And then I'll need a new treadmill for them. Boy, it makes the time go by so much faster. So I'll need another treadmill project. So squares, maybe. Maybe I could do squares. I could probably do squares. So maybe that'd be a good way to crank out squares. So maybe I'll try one more square tonight just to see if I can do another one. And then just call it a day and make squares. I can do something fancier and funky or different with the other color. This one's going to be squares and I'm going to make a blanket. Done. So, all right. If you haven't chimed in on Advent, please watch yesterday's episode and let me know what you think. And yeah, maybe I can start one of those projects. Maybe when I can start a New Year's Eve cast on. That could be one of my Advent projects. So with that, I will stop talking and I will talk to you tomorrow.